Hello everyone. It's Father Aaron here, the Dungeon Minister. And I am here to unbox this box. It's good to see you folks. I hope everyone is doing all right out there. I see a wave of mutilation there in the chat, and Vincent as well. Good to see you. We are now just a week away from CleriCon. It is difficult for me to believe that in 1 week's time, we're actually going to be at the con. I'm, pardon me, sorry for the shakiness there. Trying to get a little bit more of the package in the picture. I'm frankly astonished. 1 week's time, we're going to be in the con, and it's going to be great. I mean, honestly, Bandit's Keep, Mage's Musings, Tale of the Manticore. And lots of other folks, too, running great games. Those are the three, though, that you probably would have heard of because they have channels on YouTube and whatnot. And, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to stabilize this camera because it's looking a little wobbly, and I don't want you guys shaking around. There you go. It is going to be a lot of fun. And so, just incidentally, if you want to come to the con, I believe I put the link to register in the description. I hope I did. And just to let you know, I have to know by tomorrow, that's the 29th of October, 2023, I have to know by tomorrow how many people are coming to the dinner. So if you were thinking of coming and wanted to go to the dinner, let me know soon, like in the next 12 to 24 hours would be good. 24, you know what, I could even extend it up to about 30 hours. Because sometime tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to let the caterer know. So if you were thinking of coming to the dinner and you were kind of, I don't know, make your decision quickly. You can come to the con. You can register on the day. It is nice to register in advance because then we can make sure that you've got a spot in the game tables. What if you want to come to the con but can't make it? What do you do? Oh, Vincent, you know what? The list of conventions I would like to get to, but can't, is long. And Road March, you need to get off your butt and send you that stuff. You have to figure out shipping. Good morning, Mage. You know what? Bless you, Road. That is very kind of you. I'm always so just really grateful and pleased and surprised, frankly, when people send me stuff. So what do you do, Vincent, if you can't come? I tell you, like you do what I do. You go, oh, and then you start your own convention that you can go to. That's what you do. Yeah, and Vincent, I saw your message earlier about starting up your own Beckme campaign. That's fabulous. You were asking like how to get into it. I really, honestly, you open the basic book and play that first adventure yourself. Make sure you play through it, because you really get a lot of the mechanics just doing that. That is such a good teaching tool, that little adventure. And I would, hey, run the adventure that's in the Dungeon Masters, the basic Dungeon Masters guide too, the castle that's in there. Run that. It really is a nice intro to the system. I know you've DM'd before, of course. I suspect you know the general thing, but the general how to DM. But that specific, Misdemeanor, that specific system, you can pick up a lot of the rules doing that. Good day, Mobius. How are things in the Great White North? The Great White North from here. You're way up there. You're way up there, up where the moose and squirrel. No, not quite as far as moose and squirrel. That's over the top. Yeah. You've played in DM, so Vincent, you know the basics. It's just the mechanics. So it is, as Mage says, Beckme is one of the best starter sets. I think I would say not even one of. I'd say that the intro in the basic book has got to be the best on ramp to role playing. Quite apart from DMing, there may be better out there for that. But as far as playing, I don't think there's anything better than that opening adventure. I think that is just a gift to all of role playing. Really, nothing but snow chains and back bacon. got the chains on your back bacon. All right. It is the box sets are fabulous. And the reason I like the box sets, I've said this before, people get sick of hearing me saying it, is because it gives you just what you need as you progress, right? And I know there's a lot of devotees of the rules cyclopedia, and they like, just here it is, one book, one resource. But and yeah, hunting up information in the box sets can be difficult because it's all over the place. But it gives you what you need here, to start, and then it gets you what you need as you're expanding, and then it gives you what you need as you really are getting into, world domination, etc. So I like the presentation. Yes, Mage, it's easy mechanically, but it still has the capacity to do to do a lot of stuff. The master set, and it says in the master's set that combat skill, the combat training, it says that you can retroactively apply it. You can go backward with it. But of course, by the time you got the master's set, you've probably been playing for a while. But I like that because then it says, the next campaign you do, you can put this in at level 1, right? Put it in at level 1. But it is if you're just learning, it's so much easier to just put that stuff aside and come back to it when you really know you're ready to do it. You'll see I pulled in the CleriCon 2023 badge. These are being printed up, and everyone who comes day pass or full pass gets the badge. There's some slight differences between the adult, the child, the day pass, etc. But it'll be it'll be a sort of a way to a memento. Hello, General Nut. How you doing? All right. Yes, once you know it, I suppose the encyclopedia is useful. Now, I have to say, I'm going to have an open blade on camera for too long. I will say, before I open this, I want to say my game shop game, there's a fellow who's joined up just last night, and he's familiar with the encyclopedia, and he's wanting to introduce some of the things that are in the encyclopedia. And I'm like, whoa, because I never used it. I have access to it, but oh, General Nut, have you been unwell? I'm glad to hear that you're doing better. Glad to hear you're doing better. The Immortal set's a bit pricey. Well, you know what? I have actually never known anyone who went into the Immortal set. I never knew it. I've never known anyone go into the Immortal set. Okay, so before I cut this, what this is a box from Mr. James Keck at Keck Publishing, he's written a whole bunch of games. Some really, really cool stuff. The Simple Sixes system, his 4C Expanded, which is, I guess, an expansion on an existing system, plus a whole bunch of other games, Dreamweaver, the Galaxy Quest. That's a movie, isn't it? But it's just gobs of stuff. The man's prolific, and he is constantly kind of working things over, revising, trying something new. The man's a machine with this stuff. So he has sent some books to become prizes / auction material / whatever for CleriCon. So this is in addition. Obviously, the last time I was live, it was Terrain from Dirty Basement Terrain. Some fabulous stuff. So, okay. What we got here? Yeah, you know what? The binders is the way, because then you got the physical thing. I did not looking at a screen for my books. And speaking of which, here is some actual books. And some bubble wrap that the boys can open later. They're all at violin right now, so they can look at that later. And, all right. Okay, I'm going to take this off the table so we can see it better. Oof. All right. I'm going to need the knife again. I put it away. Awesome. What do we have here? Now, James told me what was in the package, but, me and my memory. Could you run AD&D Adventures with FECME rules? Absolutely, Road. The two systems, AD&D and the basic, they switch back and forth pretty easy. Wowzers! This is awesome stuff. This is awesome stuff. Okay, I mentioned Dreamweaver. This game now, James has been running it online on Discord, on his Discord channel. I have not played because I really am kind of up to my ears in stuff, especially preparing for the con. Dreamweaver, though, apparently is a game in which you play. Well, here we go. I can read the back. You always knew that monsters were real. Your mommy and daddy told you that they didn't exist. Boy, were they wrong. Really wrong. I mean, look at that. Look at that mouth. In Dreamweaver, the players take the role of young children who know that monsters really do exist, and they have the power to get rid of them. With the aid of the light of purity and their own imaginations, the kids go on a quest to protect the real world from the monsters and drive them back to the Forest of Nightmares. Dreamweaver runs on a variant of the Simple Sixes rule set created by James F. Keck. So this is Simple Sixes is like the base mechanics, and then there's all sorts of ways that you can run it and apply things to it. Hello, Matt in Sheffield. Don't get me singing. I'll get demonetized if I start singing. But look at that cover art. That is fabulous. The tentacles coming up in here, and little kid on the stairs. And let's take a look. I'm gonna hold it upside down for me so that it's right side up for you to look at the interior. Some of the art inside. It's fabulous. That is a creepy, crawly thing. It looks almost like a Celtic design. So there are some horrors in here. So the characters are little children, but boy, it is not pulling any punches in terms of the art. Pictures of the kind of characters. He really does. We got some kids fighting over here. All right. Cool. Finding stuff, fixing boo-boos, fixing things, getting into things, intimidation, hiding. So this would be again, I haven't played it. This is a sort of skills area. Trapping, throwing, storytelling, shooting. Sorry, James gang. How are you doing, James? How are you doing? We got some soldiers here. There's the famous Jabberwock with eyes aflame, comes whiffling through the tulgey wood and burbles as it comes. Oh, look at that. You can see that death's head there. Pretty cool. 'Twas brillig in the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. So this looks pretty cool. Now, I know there's a group that's playing this. Mobius, I don't know if you're in that group. Mobius is I play with Mobius in James's Gamma World game. And, oh my heavens, talk about nightmare fuel. This is clearly the beastie portion of the book. These are the sort of things the children are up against. I like that. You are about as far away as you possibly can be, James. You and the Dungeon Delver both. Hey, Keck, love it. Now, Keck, you play in that game, don't you? You play in that game, don't you? Cosmic Horror, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, it is your cup of solo. You're right. It is in that sort of genre, but like little kids instead of teenagers. There's another game. I don't know if you know the channel. And of course, the name would flee from my head just as I want to say it. Fate Master Cesium. Keck, you play in the Dreamweaver game, don't you? I think you do. And I can't remember if Mobius does. Fate Master Cesium has a game, the Childings, so something Childings. And it's similar sort of, the little children against dark forces kind of thing. And the adults are too, they're too grown up to be smart enough to see the evil things. Right. So it's a similar sort of, but this is like like that game meets Call of Cthulhu or something. It's pretty horrific, some of these pictures. You do the Blazing Sixes too. So Keck there knows James's games quite well, both Blazing Sixes and Dreamweaver and Blazing Sixes are both based on the Simple Six. So this is a really cool book, and that back image that's terrifying. So cool. There are 2 of those. Dreamweaver. Galactic Odyssey. That's what it was. Not Galaxy. Galactic Odyssey. Very cool. Galactic Odyssey Game Master's Guide. This is obviously a sort of space adventure. Awesome cover art there. I love the sort of old school feel of the art. You know, it feels like it could have come out of the 80s. And on the back, oh, well, look at that. There's a really handy table on the back, so you're running your game, you don't have to find the page, you just flip to the back cover. Cool. So I'm going to do the same thing. This one's much thicker. I don't think I can go slow through. I'm looking at the number of games, the number of books. I can't go slow through all of them, or I'll never be offline. But yeah, again, look at that. The art is just evocative of an era, isn't it? It looks like it fits in the 80s. And you played Galactic during Guac? Excellent. Yeah, that's right, Vincent. You were in there. It was it Glick? Were you Glick? I think your character was. It was you were the lizard or the badger? No, one of those 2. That was a long time ago. Very cool. And the tables are in this very, very clear color. Really easy to... the Lizard Man, that's right. Yeah, Gary Gezogaz, that's right. Cool. There's some neat stuff in here. This is one I have not played at all. But if this is also based on... Oh, this is its own thing. This is its own thing, I think. I don't think this is based on the Simple... It may be based on the Simple Sixes. I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to buy one and find out. I did put a link. I hope I put a link in the... actually, I don't think I did in this video. I did on Twitter and Facebook. I put links to James's stuff over on DriveThruRPG. But if you go to DriveThruRPG and you search for Keck Publishing, Keck, not like during the 2016 election Keck, a different Keck. It is a big fatty book. You'll find his stuff on DriveThruRPG. So all the stuff is available there. And there's some cool stuff. That picture of Torment. Awesome. Your classic alien there. Gray skin, kind of big head. Neat stuff. Spaceship blasting off. Again, the art, it just calls back a time. Neat stuff. I don't know this system at all. They really do, Vincent. They really do. That package was shipped from the USA. Shipping costs from the USA to Canada Road March are ridiculous. They really are. They really are just over the top. I don't get why. Someone said there was a reason and explained it to me, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Why it would cost that much. There's times when I can get something shipped from the UK cheaper than from the US. It's bizarre. So that is Galactic Odyssey. Very cool. Now we have Blazing Sixes. Now I have played this one. It was just once, and I was a little late. To be perfectly frank, I came in late, but it was a fun game. It's sort of again, the system is sort of pretty open, but as he was playing it, there was a sort of supernatural element, zombies and vampire kind of thing going on for Blazing Sixes. Back cover, Wild West role playing, powered by Simple Sixes. So the Simple Sixes thing can do all sorts of different different genres. In fact, at CleriCon, our eldest, Fleetwood, is going to be running a Simple Sixes game, but it's going to be set in World War II. The evening before D-Day, when the gliders, the British gliders, landed, and they had missions to destroy bridges and that kind of thing. So he's invented a mission that a glider team has to carry out. And the opening of the game is that their glider has been shot down. One of the very few that was. Really, the Germans were sort of like, "Oh, gliders." Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that with a British accent. "Oh, gliders! I never saw the glider coming. Who would think a glider?" But anyway, the idea of the story is that their glider gets shot down, so only a few survive, and they're the ones who have to carry out the mission. So it's a similar system, but again, it like any system, the mechanics you can apply it pretty well anywhere. Good old fashioned Western town here. I love it. How much was it? See, he actually had it shipped from straight from the publisher, straight from the printer. And they're not forthcoming with how much it cost on this box. Let's see. No. Usually it says on the box how much it costs, but it does not. It doesn't anywhere. It says the value of what's inside, which... No, I don't know. I can't tell you. You know what? I know Vince a lot. I think a lot of folks are like that. Yeah, the prices are pretty ridiculous. But again, the layout is excellent. The art is cool. This one I have looked through a little bit. He sent me a PDF of this one. Well, it's so fabulous to have an actual book in hand. He sent me a PDF of it. But so I've had a little bit better exposure to this one. I've had some chance to look through it. But really cool. All sorts of cowboy kind of occupations and old soldier, outlaw, cowboy, that kind of thing. All sorts of roles that you play, kind of character types. Provisions, everything from a bedroll to a 6-shooter, I imagine. Yeah, if you Vincent, if you talk to James or again RPG, drive-through RPG, and search for James Keck, you'll find him. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. The layout, and there's for all the weapons they have different different power and range and all that kind of good stuff. This is a good one. This is a fun one. Yeah, it is. It's your classic Western. And they got beasties in here too, in addition to bandits, nasty hombres. There's an armadillo. If you ever wanted to stat out an armadillo, there you go. There's an armadillo. Slightly more dangerous, the cougar, the bobcat. Probably far more dangerous, the cowboy. Fox kits, feral dogs. Pretty cool. Jackrabbit. Awesome stuff. That's cool. Yeah, James is busy with his telescope. So there's 2 copies of that in there. Now we have 4C Expanded. This was a rule set that was out there, public domain or open license or whatever it was. And James expanded on it, and it looks like a superhero genre. So we're looking at your mutants, your radiation victims. Victims of actual radiation never get superpowers, do they? Not really. That's never actually what happens. Cool. Very cool art. Again, James is busy at the Keck Observatory. Now, this is one I don't know this system at all. At all. But if James is working on it, I think it's probably going to be pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. .5e. I don't think this is. No, it's 4C. I don't know what kind of. Keck, you'd probably be able to tell us better. What kind of system it is. Here's looks like a percentile, some percentile stuff. I don't know. It's certainly not a 5e system. I don't know what kind of oh, superheroes equal 5e. Got it. Got it, General. I got you. I'm catching your drift. You're snowing in my direction. Yeah. Superhero rabbit too. I don't know if you can see, it's a little blurry. The camera's not great. His eyes are shining. But cool stuff. Cool stuff. So different attacks here, weapon systems. I mean, again, this is another chonky book, so I cannot go through the whole thing. Clarice, have the lamb stopped screaming, Clarice. I ate his liver with a nice Chianti. Very cool stuff here. Sort of a yellow hornet or wasp or whatever. I don't know much about superheroes. I read comic books as a kid, as a teenager, briefly. Oh, you know, the James Keck Observatory joke. That's Wascowee Wabbit. There are charts depending on roles and skills determine where they fall in the charts. Red, white, or blue result. That sounds. Oh, there you go. Red, white, or blue result. That sounds similar to the Galactic Odyssey. All right. Germans invented glider-borne troop landings. Yeah. For some reason, they didn't shoot many of them down coming in the eve of D-Day. I don't know if Rommel was in Berlin celebrating his wife's birthday. Of all the things, right? But oh, cool. There's a knight with a mace charging in a motorcycle. I don't know what the motorcycle driver plans to do other than swerve, because, like, I know a motorcycle's faster than a horse, but a mace is going to hurt no matter what. We only has Blades and Sixes as a PDF on Drive-Thru RPG. You know what? I think he did say that one was, because this is relatively recently done, that he was getting it, he was lining up to get it physical. Heroes Unlimited. Cool. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Again, huge chonky book. But we got a fawn. Now, this is not, the kindly fawn. This is not the friendly little satyr. This is chop your head off satyr. Good heavens. Really cool baddies in here. Some really cool baddies. This would be worth a look through, even if you were playing a different system. Because I'm looking at it thinking, some of these things, I could read up on it, see what the stats are in here, and then, make a Beckme version of it, because that is very cool looking. I like that. Awesome stuff. There is always that place in superheroes that is somewhere between sci-fi and fantasy, isn't it? Because they fly spaceships, but they use swords, sort of Star Wars-y, right? American Badger, not a European one. Well, you'd hope. You'd hope. The first time shaped charges. I'm just glancing at the chat. Some very, very cool stuff again. Ho. Awesome. So that is 4C Expanded 2.0. That's another one. Here we have Fallen Earth. Now, is this the one? This may be the one that he's looking at. We play Gamma World, but he's looking at moving it over to, and it might be Fallen Earth. It might be. I can't remember. This is the Open D6 system. This is one of his earlier things. It was an open license thing that he took and made settings for, or more specific, because it was just the bare mechanics. It says here, they came to us with a promise of salvation to save us from ourselves. We had allowed our ignorance and avarice to send our planet into a death spiral that caused temperatures around the globe to rise beyond the point of habitability. Glaciers at both poles began melting more rapidly than expected, and several coastal areas were submerged, and hundreds of thousands of people lost their lives. The little gray aliens changed everything. They built great domed cities that kept us safe from the elements. They gave us anything we wanted. They removed the troublemakers and the infected ones. Our lives became perfect. We were safe and sound. Nothing could go wrong now. Or could it? Dun, dun, dun! Soylent Green is people! Wolverine is the best badger. I'm from the Badger State, so I will defend the Badger over and against the Wolverine. Does sound Logan's Runny, doesn't it? But something nasty's coming in the window. Very cool. It has a feel actually of being sort of Logan's Run meets Terminator. The not the back in time, but the time that they come back from, the resistance fighting against the aliens. At least looking at this picture, it does. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. I don't get that, mages, unless there's mushrooms involved on your end. Yes, we have inside Canucks from Cheeseland as well, and still lives there. So she knows Cheeseland current. I have Wisconsin trivia up to the early 2000s when I left to go further north and traded my cheese for some maple syrup. Another very cool one here. Now this is on the Open D6 system, so a slightly different system than the simple sixes, but another D6. I will search for it on V. Yeah, you remember V from Vendetta? That. You know what, Keck? Actually, where I am, it's almost directly east of you rather than north at all. In fact, I may even be a little bit south, depending on where in Wisconsin you are. I know you told me, but I don't want to announce your location across the interwebs. Yes, James, it's not just a place that presidents come from in movies. Have you noticed that in movies? If there's an American president in a movie, 9 times out of 10, he's from Wisconsin. I'm not sure why. I think it's because it does feel like it doesn't exist. Plenty cold in Wisconsin already. Zach, are you in Wisconsin? I tell you, it was warm. It was cool this morning, but it warmed up and fast. I dropped the boys off at violin, and we all had jackets on. And on my way home, I had to open the window. You've uncovered one of our primary industries. Yeah, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley. Although, I mean, Laverne and Shirley, supposedly set in Milwaukee, they work at a brewery, but Lenny and Squiggy's have stepped directly out of Brooklyn. I mean, they made absolutely no stops in between. Yeah, the VTV series. I love that. I watched that when I was a kid, probably, scarred me for life. Didn't trust anyone because they may tear their rubber face off at any moment. I hope I didn't spoil anything for you, but it has been since the 80s. If you haven't watched V yet, you probably were never going to. But good stuff. Wow. Cool. Oh, cricks. 68 degrees at 4 o'clock. Later, hour later, dropped to 12. Soon as the sun goes down. Soon as the sun goes down. Yeah, 40 years. Again, 40 years. If you haven't watched it yet, that is nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel. Yeah. Good stuff. That. Cool. Cool. And more monsters. And pretty horrific looking stuff. When you open it up to space, right? Like a flying shark. I don't know what its actual name is. Grisha, but it looks like a flying shark to me. Yeah, some of this stuff is kind of Lovecraftian. 80 degrees in Atlanta. Yes, Mobius. The cast were all of them, I'm sure, very telegenic, and I was perhaps a little too young to care at that point. I can't remember what year it came out in. I don't remember the aliens being particularly attractive, but then if I was young enough. So that is Fallen Earth is one of those. And 2 Simple Sixes. And this is the base system. And so I love this cover because he has on here a sort of medieval flail, a superhero, and it looks like a space thing happening here. But, the body continues through them. So it's like the same fight happening in 3 different places. Sharknado. Hopf and Hef Incorporated. Penny Marshall stated in an interview with 99 that she took that one from the things they used to sing as kids. Well, there you go. There you go. It is not. I can report that is not actually a brewery in Milwaukee, but it sounds like it could be. It sounds like it could be. So this is Simple Sixes, and this is the system again that Fleetwood's going to be using for the convention to run a World War II setting. And God bless James, he was already working on some World War II era weaponry, but he really put nose to grindstone and got it done in time for Fleetwood to use for it. So he, you mean Schlitz Brewing Company? Schlitz, but so that was very kind of him. He asked, is there anything particular that he wants to use? It's okay. Well, he's gonna want to have some German armor coming through. He's gonna have some, so he got him all the stuff needed. I love the detail around the edge, the sort of corrosion effect around the edge of the page. That's pretty cool. Again, really kind of clean. Clean layout, great stuff. Just you'll get pictures of the guys toting guns. Here's some mobsters around a table, and there's a knight with a sword because it can be used for pretty much anything. Yeah, Miller, Sprecher, Blatz, Pabst Blue Ribbon. There's a gob of them. Look at that. Road March and Vincent, both in Atlanta, watching a stream from Canada. The interwebs is a fabulous thing. So all sorts of cool stuff about equipment, and that. And you got to think about, if you're going to have a system this open, the equipment list has to be very comprehensive. Very comprehensive. Cool stuff. Sort of rage monster here. Hey, Bob Jester, how you doing? How you doing? We're looking at some of the great stuff that James Keck has sent from Keck Publishing to be prizes and whatnot at CleriCon, which, as I will remind you, is happening November 3rd through 5th. That's just next weekend. And if you would like to attend the dinner, I'm going to need to know that within the next 24 to 30 hours, so I can report final numbers to the caterer. But the con, you could just show up at the door. But if you register in advance at the link, which is down below or over to the side, depending on how you're watching it, you'll be able to sign up for games as well. Most of the tables have a spot or two. There's a couple of games that are low populated. We're hoping that on the day people will fill in. A couple of the games are pretty well full and can't take no more. That is a bummer, Road March. Well, do you have to work all weekend? Because it's running 3 days. Got Assassin here. I don't know where you're Hang on, though, Road March. If you're in Atlanta, Road March, you're probably not getting up here anyway. That would be quite a trip. Yeah, kind of. I felt the same way about GaryCon. I wanted to go down to that, but it's like, no. And trying to tell my wife that, yeah, I know that the grocery budget is tight, but hey, I'm gonna take a trip down to Wisconsin for a few days and just leave you guys behind. And yeah, I don't think I would have been a popular man. How are the tables looking this weekend? As I was just saying, there's a couple of games that are sparsely populated. Most of them are doing pretty well. Most of them have at least 3 or 4 people at them. Some of them 5 or 6. So it's going pretty well. And I think the one on Friday night is the only game. I think we're up to 8 people now, 8 or 9 people. So anyway, here is this. There we go. There's a nice tank action. So this is the simple 6s, and there's get your character sheets and everything like that at the back. So I'm just going to show you for your greater edification all the things that are going to be available either as prizes, and we're still sorting out. I was actually kind of waiting till this came in to start assigning which is prize, which will be an auction item, what they're going to be prizes for. So 2 simple 6s, although I think Fleetwood may tell me that he needs one of those. So Fallen Earth, 4C Expanded, 2 Blazing 6s, Galactic Odyssey, and 2 Dreamweavers. Awesome. CleriCon is an actual in-person con happening in Glen Williams, Ontario, which is just to the west of Toronto. There are going to be some elements that go online. So, for instance, there's a panel discussion, and we'll live stream that. There's going to be I'm going to do some reports from the floor kind of thing. I'm likely going to be, for at least one of my games, I'm likely going to aim the camera at myself or the table, whichever. I got to get the consent of the people who are playing. I can't just go doing that, right? So there are going to be some things that are going to be online. We'll probably be broadcasting the live casting things like there's a couple of silly games we're going to do. There's the onion eating contest, to see who can plow their way, the Bob Johnny onion eating contest, because Bob Johnny's always mowing on onions. And there's going to be, I just decided this last night, it's a ridiculous game called Carrot in a Box. We're going to play Carrot in a Box. And I'm actually thinking I might try to get Mage, trying to get you and Tail of the Manticore to face off on Carrot in a Box. They do look gorgeous, don't they, Bob? They really are really well made things, really well designed. So these are going to be, and again, let's just start assigning which is prize, which is auction, etc., that kind of stuff. And they're all going to be at CleriCon next weekend in the GTA. No, not fried. It's got a raw onion there, Road March. Onion eating contest. It's I got a character, one of my boys. Whenever I have an intelligent monster, I always have to put in a storeroom where their food is kept, right? Because I want it to make sense. So they've got to have some food somewhere. And so there's crates and boxes and bags of things, and there's always some onions. Bob Johnny is my youngest boy. He says, "Oh, I take some onions and start eating them." So, so he's gonna be awarding the Bob Johnny Onion Eating Cup, because ironically, I mean, he's 8. He's not eating an onion. So ironically, Bob Johnny is not going to be entering Bob Johnny's Onion Eating Contest, although Touchberry has threatened to do so. There are T-shirts. Yes, if you go to the If you go to the CleriCon site, which again is linked, ought to be linked in the description below. At least I hope it is. If it isn't, then I've really missed a trick. It is. It's in the description below. If you go to the CleriCon site, you can find on the information side, there's the schedule and information about hotels and that kind of stuff. There's on a computer, there's two sides. On a phone, it's kind of linear. There is a link to merchandise for the con, and so you can find T-shirts. I've got CleriCon T-shirts. There's also a Bob Johnny's Best Onion Company T-shirt. There's the Torchberry Fire Department T-shirt. There's my but I still have one Hit Point T-shirt. It's all sorts of stuff. Bob Johnny should have made to at least demonstrate the eating of an onion. Well, he could eat a chunk or two of onion, but an entire onion, maybe not. Badger in the bath, goat in the closet. Any filming of CleriCon, like I said, there's going to be a few bits that are going to be live cast, and I'm going to do, as I said, reports from the floor, sort of selfie shot kind of thing, and so you'll be able to see what's going on over my shoulder. I'm actually going to record and upload some of the setup stuff as well beforehand, so that build excitement, But yeah, happening in person. There'll be a little bit of stuff online. Watch this channel. This is where it will happen. Toaster in the tub. This is where it will happen. And that's going to be next week. And I'm very excited, extraordinarily nervous. Every day I think of 6 different things that I'd forgotten to do that I have to get done. So I'm, a little frantic right now, but it's all good. It's all good. What will happen when on the day. I think we're going to be ready, though. I've got some great help coming in addition to all the folks sending stuff. Grumpy Old Slan, you probably know from online here. Grumpy is coming to help out. He's going to be particularly running Fleetwood's Cabinet of Curiosities, which is a sort of used consignment sale, a consignment sale of used stuff. So if you've got gently used. Slan has his own channel now. I did not know. I've got to go find it and subscribe and watch some stuff. He's going to be doing he's going to be running the Fleetwood's Curiosity Shop, Cabinet of Curiosities rather. So if you've got used games and you want to sell that kind of stuff. So just launched yesterday. Well, that's why I didn't know about it yet. Yeah, well, Bob Jester, one of the things I had to do was talk to you. There you go. So lots of stuff going on, though. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to getting Mage and Manticore and Bandits Keep all here running games, and a bunch of other folks as well. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Well, that's what I got for today. Just a quick unboxing and a showing off of some of the excellent stuff of James's work. As I said before, there is a link below for CleriCon. There is a link below for James's work on DriveThruRPG. So if you liked the stuff that you've seen here and you want to get your own and you can't come to CleriCon, well, first things first, tell your boss you're sick. Tell your boss you're sick. Sorry. I can't, and then hope that he or she doesn't subscribe to my channel to see the videos of you playing. And if that is an absolute impossibility, then you can go to DriveThruRPG, link below, and get some awesome stuff by Mr. Keck. You've seen the stuff; it is cool. I can vouch for how fun the Simple Sixes is to play, the Blazing Sixes, because I have played that, and Canuck can probably tell you how fun Dreamweaver is and other stuff. So this is all good. All right. Have a very, very good rest of your day, everyone. Be well, be safe, and I'll see you at the con.